Hello there, I am Miss Lola. I am here to teach you something new and interesting in mathematics. Welcome to the world of numbers, shapes, and all the beautiful things that you can find in the exciting world of mathematics. In this lesson, we will learn about proportions. Proportion is used to show how quantities and amounts are related to each other. The amount that quantities change in relation to each other is determined by some rules in proportion. As we go along in the lesson, you will hear the word proportional quite often in this lesson, so get ready for that. With proportions, two things can either be directly proportional or inversely proportional. So, we will think about proportion in these two ways. When things are directly proportional, as one amount increases, another amount increases at the same rate or at the same time. Look at the picture of these dogs. One is bigger than the other, but if they grow or increase at the same rate, then we say their growth, size, weight, or height are directly proportional. Also, there is a direct proportion between two values when one is a multiple of the other. The symbol for directly proportional is this. But don't confuse it with the symbol for infinity, which is this. Let's find an example of two quantities that are directly proportional. The two quantities are time and money. You are paid 20 naira for every hour you work. How much you earn is directly proportional to how many hours you work. Work more hours, earn more money, in direct proportion. This could be written, earnings are directly proportional to hours worked. If you work 2 hours, you get paid 40 naira. If you work 3 hours, you get paid 60 naira, and so on. In knowing how directly proportional quantities are, it is important to know something called the constant. In mathematics, the constant is usually represented with the letter K. In this lesson, it is called the constant of proportionality. The constant of proportionality is the value that does not change. It ties two quantities or relates them together. In the last example, I talked about money earned in relation to hours worked. So, I began by saying that you are paid 20 naira for every hour you work. Now, the constant of proportionality here is 20 because it does not change. As the hours worked increases, the amount earned increases too, but by 20. That's why 1 hour earns you 20 naira, 2 hours 40 naira, and 3 hours earn you 60 naira, 4 hours 80 naira, and so on. So, the simple mathematical equation that explains all this is earnings equals 20 times hours worked. This can also be written as y equals kx, where k is the constant of proportionality. Let's use another example at this point. Y is directly proportional to x, and when x equals 3, then y equals 15. What is the constant of proportionality? They are directly proportional, so y equals kx. Let's put in the values that we know. Y equals 15 and x equals 3. Using the equation, y equals kx means y equals k times x, and this would give 15 equals k times 3. We will solve this further by dividing both sides by 3. So, 15 divided by 3 equals k times 3 over 3. So, 5 equals k times 1. K equals 5. The constant of proportionality is 5. Now that we know the constant of proportionality, we can rewrite the equation as y equals 5x. When we know the constant of proportionality, we can then answer other questions. Isn't that brilliant? Let's learn about inverse proportionality. When things are inversely proportional, it means that one value decreases at the same time that the other increases. An example on speed and travel time might help us understand this better. Speed and travel time are inversely proportional because the faster we go, the shorter the time. As speed goes up, travel time goes down, and as speed goes down, travel time goes up. With this expression, it means that y is inversely proportional to x, or we can say y equals 1 over x. In mathematics, the expression is written as y equals k divided by x. Let's use an example further. 4 people can paint a fence in 3 hours. How long will it take 6 people to paint it, assuming everyone works at the same rate? It is an inverse proportion. As the number of people goes up, the painting time goes down. As the number of people goes down, the painting time goes up. We can use T equals K divided by N, where T is the number of hours K is the constant of proportionality, and N is the number of people painting the fence. 4 people can paint a fence in 3 hours means that T is 3 when N is 4. So T equals K divided by N gives us 3 equals K divided by 4. If we divide both sides by 4, we'll have 3 times 4 equals K times 4 divided by 4. 3 times 4 is 12, and K times 4 divided by 4 is the same thing as K times 1 because 4 divided by 4 equals 1. So 3 times 4 equals K times 4 divided by 4 is 12 equals K. So K equals 12. So now you know. T equals 12 divided by N, and when N is 6, T equals 12 divided by 6 equals 2 hours. A. Proportion is used to show how quantities and amounts are related to each other. B. When things are directly proportional, as one amount increases, another amount increases at the same rate or at the same time. C. When things are inversely proportional, it means that one value decreases at the same rate that the other increases. D. The constant of proportionality is the value that does not change. It ties two quantities or relates them to each other. Great. Before we finish up here, let me ask you a few questions. This will help me know how well you got on in the lesson. Are you ready? Alright. 1. What is proportion in mathematics? That's great. In mathematics, proportion is used to show how quantities and amounts are related. 2. What does it mean when things are directly proportional? That's excellent. When things are directly proportional, as one amount increases, another amount increases at the same rate or at the same time. 3. What does it mean when things are inversely proportional? You're absolutely correct. When things are inversely proportional, it means that one value decreases at the same time that the other increases. 4. What is the constant of proportionality? That's correct. The constant of proportionality is the value that does not change. It ties two quantities or relates them to each other. I hope you learned new things in the lesson. I learned new things too, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye!